Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live. And as you guys can tell by the sound and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on more dice roller program logic in SDL3 using C++. I've been trying to complete this program for the past 2 days, but today I'm actually going to try to complete it. That's let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Okay, let's say something like, let's say I'm live, exclamation. And guys, this is the chat from the past 2 days. I mean, past two streams because I haven't like changed it. That's it. Let's see. Since it's here, Ice Power people, you showed up again and that already puts you ahead of yesterday. Most people quit when their brain gets tired. You went live instead. That's discipline starting to form, and discipline is stronger than talent. We're built. Okay, where what we repeatedly do, excellence is not an act, it's a habit, said by Astro. Guys, why did I get like a deja vu, I think a deja vu from like yesterday? This is the exact same opening. Okay, that's take a breath, shoulders down. Now tell me, what are we learning or fixing on this stream right now? Okay, that's it. This is the code from last stream that I actually created. I am going to be adding like more logic and fixing this code type stuff. So if I were to like run the code to actually show you guys what I did last stream, I get my console up here and I'm waiting for my window to compile. Hello, hiding tip. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let's see, guys. I get this kind of window like every once in a while. It's probably like whatchamacallit, my I think my antivirus or something detecting it. That said, so I get my console here and I get my window here. And in my window, I have a scoreboard that says something like you score on the enemy. If I were to hit something like enter, I have like a 3-second delay, but then my dice for my enemy and my player starts rolling. If I were to go here, it says you roll this, your enemy roll that, and then enemy roll one, all that stuff. If I hit enter again, it's gonna say something like, okay, and then me and my enemy, we roll two different things. Okay, and then once I'm done with all that, I do see like my total and my enemy's total. Why is it like almost the same always? Like, is that just pure luck or something? Okay, that's it. Might have to fix that stuff this stream. Okay, that's it. I do want to like display what my score is on my window as well. Although I did like think of one more thing yesterday while I was actually sleeping. I actually thought that whatchamacallit, I did use my SDL underscore delay here, but instead of using delay, when I hit enter, I might want my player to hit something like S to like turn my chat on type stuff. So I might delete my delay from here right now, and let's see. So what is something else that I might want to do? I do want to display my actual total on my window. To do that, let's see. I gotta display my enemy total and my actual player total on my window. I could do that inside of my randomness class, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create another method. I might actually create, let's say something like a total method. Let's say something like a void method called something like display total. I might go with something like display player total on window. I might go with something like player total. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like display player total on window method. Okay, and then I'm gonna add parentheses. Now my display player total on window method is gonna be requiring, let's say, something around 3 parameters. The first parameter is going to be a SDL underscore renders a structure, which consists of, let's say, something like it renders a local variable representing it. The second parameter might be something like, I don't know, I think a TDF underscore font. This is like going to be a font for my text, which is going to be represented by a fonts variable. The third variable is going to be a floating point scale variable. And then I go with a pair of curly braces. Now, before I add something inside of a method, I'm going to scroll all the way up here. I already created a score graphics method, so I think this was the utter waste of time. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this part. Okay, let's go ahead and delete this. So, there we go. Okay, because I don't think I might actually need it, because I created my score graphics class. That was like the first ever class that I did create. So I think that didn't have all my logic now. Okay, so when I go with a display player total on Windows's function, actually method, this method is gonna, let's say, would I have any constructors here? I mean, my bad guys, not constructor. This is not a class, it's a method. What do I need inside my method? Maybe I want to go ahead and use the SDL underscore colors structure, which is going to be represented by a colors local variable that is going to be set to something like 000235, which is the RGB for like a black color. And the 235 is basically alpha/opacity, how transparent or how not transparent I want my color to be. In this case, I don't want my color to be transparent at all. Okay, now once I'm done creating a color, I want to go ahead and create a surface. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the SDL. Guys, give me a sec. I just drooled all over my keyboard. Alright up, guys, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna use the SDL underscore surfaces structure, which is gonna be represented by a surfaces pointer. I might go with something like player text surface. Player text surface. There we go. Okay, then I'm gonna go with let's say something like an equal to sign. So my player text surface is gonna be equal to the TDF underscore the render text underscore blended function. So I want to go ahead and blend a text on my window. Now my render text blended function requires a bunch of parameters. The first parameter is going to be a font. The second parameter is going to be a text, a constant character text, which in this case, it would have been like my totals is variable up here. But my totals is variable is an integer. I need a constant string. I forgot, how do we actually do that? I might go with something like a standard string of let's go with something like total int. Should I go with something like standard string of, okay, what is a good function name that I could keep? So when I go here, is there some kind of total that I add here? So there's enemy dist, enemy rolling, there's total. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, so when I create file paths, I go with, I don't know what, guys, I'm like really bad when it comes to like keeping variable names. I could keep this something like total score, player total. Maybe I go with something like player total. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set this equal to the .toString. So the two underscore strings this function, which is gonna be having a parameter of my total. And then I ended with a semicolon. Now, I'm assuming my S should be capital here. Or did I like spell something wrong? Standard string player total is going to be equal to string total. Hold up, guys, I think my toString is kind of wrong here. Okay, let's go with toString. Oh, it's going to be standard toString. My bad, guys. Let's go with something like standard toString. Because honestly, I haven't like used the toString a lot, so I actually sometimes forget the syntax up here. Am I still doing something wrong? Standard toString with a pair of parentheses of my total variable, ending with a semicolon. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing for my enemy total as well. Let's go ahead and paste this here. I might go with something like enemy text total. And I'll go with something like player text total as well. Okay, guys, I think that name sounds much better. And I'm gonna go ahead and copy my enemy totals as variable and paste it here. Okay, perfect. Now once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll all the way down here. Okay, wait, it shows like I have an error up here. Do I have somewhere? There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and use my player text totals as variable up here. And then my player text total is a standard string, but I want it to be a C string, so I might do something like player text total dot the C underscore string function. Now my player text total is a constant string. That said, let's go to my third parameter, which is going to be a length. Since I don't have a length, I'm going to set this to be 0. And my fourth parameter is going to be my color. Okay, that's pretty much it for my parameters. Then I add my function with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done creating a surface, is there something else that I want to do? I might check if my surface actually was created properly. So I might go with something like if player text surface. If my player text surface was created properly, then I'm going to do something. Firstly, I want to go ahead and create a texture, so I'm going to use the SDL underscore textures as structure, which is going to be represented by something like, maybe I change it to something like player score text surface. There we go. Okay, which is going to be represented by something like player score text. Alright guys, there we go, text texture. Okay, then I go ahead and set my texture variable equal to the SDL. Let's go with something like SDL underscore. Alright guys, there we go. Okay, SDL underscore create surface from actually create texture from surface. There we go. Okay, create texture from surface. Okay, perfect. So I use the SDL underscore create texture from surfaces function that does require two parameters. The first parameter is going to be my renderer. The second parameter is going to be my surface, which in this case is going to be my player score text surface, and then I end my function with a semicolon. Now that I've created a texture, I'm gonna go ahead and get the width and height of my texture as well, because apparently I do want to use the original width instead of using like magic numbers that's gonna like extend my or actually stretch my text out. So to get my actual width, I'm gonna firstly create two variables. A textures is width variable and a textures is height variable ending with a semicolon. Then I use the SDL underscore get texture size function. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my texture size. My get texture size function requires three parameters. The first parameter is gonna be my texture, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy my texture, paste it here. Now the second parameter is going to be the memory address of my textures' width, and the third parameter is going to be the memory address of my textures' height. Then I end my function with a semicolon. Okay, now that I've actually gotten my textures' width and height, I want to actually display my texture on my window. To do that, I could go ahead and use the SDL underscore display. Actually, not display, my bad guys. SDL underscore the render texture function. This function is going to tell my renderer to render my texture on my window, although my render texture function does require four parameters. The first parameter is going to be my renderer, the second parameter is going to be my texture, the third parameter is going to be a source rect. Since I don't have a source rect, I'm honestly going to set this to be something like null PDR, which is basically a placeholder for pointers. Lastly, the fourth parameter is going to be the memory address of my DST rect slash my direction rect. So I'm going to use the address of operator of my rect. Now here's the thing, I did not actually create a rect here, so I might actually create a rect up here. So let's go ahead and use a SDL underscore f rect structure. I'm going to go ahead and create something like score rect. There we go. Okay, I might change to something like player score rect. Let's go with something like player score rect ending with a semicolon. I might actually copy this real quick. There we go, and then let's go ahead and copy this whole thing, paste it here. I'm going to create another rect that says something like enemy score rect. Now if I were to scroll all the way down here, let's go ahead and firstly set a few attributes for my player score rect. So I might go with something like player score rect. Let's copy that, maybe delete the whole thing, paste it here. There we go. Okay, player score rect.x-axis is going to be equal to, I don't know, I'm just going to be adding random numbers for the time being because I don't know the actual coordinates. And then I might go with something like player score rect.x-axis, actually not y-axis this time, is going to be somewhere around 300 ending with a semicolon. How long have you been using C++? Honestly, I have been using C++ for I think about 90-ish days. Is that considered like, has it been 90 days? I actually don't think. I think it's about like 85-ish days, around almost, I'm like closing it in 3 months I think. Okay, that's next up I'm going to go with something like player rect.width is going to be equal to, my bad guys, there we go, player score rect.width is going to be equal to my textures width multiplied by my scale ending with a semicolon. Lastly, I'm going to go with something like my player score rect.height is going to be equal to my textures height multiplied by my scale ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect, and then I'm just going to fill in the parameter here, and then I have my function with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done rendering my texture on my screen, I do gotta delete my texture as well, because apparently in C++ when we create something, we do gotta destroy that as well. So I'm gonna use the SDL underscore destroy textures function, which is gonna be requiring, let's say something, I spelled destroy wrong. Okay, which is going to be requiring a parameter of my texture, which in this case, it's going to be my player score texture. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that here, ending with a semicolon. Now, I exit outside of my if statement and also use the SDL underscore to, there we go, destroy. There we go, I'm going to use the SDL underscore destroy surface function, which does require my surfaces parameter. Do you have a project template for SDL? Honestly, no. I mean, I feel like I do know the basics. So I'm just trying to like make different kind of projects to actually, learn the basics even better and try implementing them into actual code type stuff. That said, this is actually pretty much it for display player total on window. Now let's go ahead and copy this method. I want to put it to the test and check if it actually works. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here. Score graphics is undefined. Might actually delete that. Okay. Oh, my score graphics displays my scoreboard. No way, guys. Hold up. I think I did a really big mistake up here, guys. I mean, I don't think it's like that big. All I gotta do is like copy this part. So there we go. Okay, and then go with a bunch of Control Z's. Let's go with Control Z. And just hope that I have enough Control Z's, ref. Okay, I hope I don't reach my Control Z limit up here. Because I do want to paste my class that I actually deleted. Okay, hold up guys, let's actually... Okay, did I actually load my class up here? So, let's see. Okay, I did guys, that's a relief. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and copy my score graphics class from here. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this because I did not realize before when I actually deleted this. Okay, let's go with Control Shift Z. Okay, before back when I deleted the class, I did not actually realize that okay, that my score graphics class was displaying my scoreboard as well. Let's go ahead and paste these things here. What up, guys? So there we go. Okay, let's go with Control C here. There we go. Okay, that's actually perfect. Now I'm gonna scroll all the way up here above my randoms class and paste my score graphics class. Okay, hello hiding grinder, I appreciate you joining the stream. Now if I were to scroll all the way down, let me actually copy my method name real quick. And then if I were to scroll all the way down, after a while you should create a template so you don't waste time creating window and texture class and jump right into the idea that actually does. Oh, that actually does make sense. Okay, I actually see what you guys mean by template now. Like, just create these basic variables up here type stuff. Okay, that's, let's see. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and enter inside of my graphics' pager. I'm gonna go ahead and do something like sg dot, let's say something like score graphics dot display player score on window. Display player score. Since when did I have a display enemy score on window? Okay, I might actually try this. My display player score on window does require 3 parameters. It requires a font parameter, it requires a, let's see, a renderer and a scale. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my renderer. And lastly my scale, which is going to be something like, I don't know, maybe 0.8, which is 80% of my original size. Then I have my method with a semicolon. Now, speaking of which, I have a display player total on window. Wait, is this called display player score? Okay, this is the wrong method. Okay, I have it in a random. Oh, I should. Okay, my bad, guys. I used the wrong method. Let's go with something like a random dot. Let's use the display player total on window. There we go. That's the correct function name. What's good, bro? Hiding Sprangle. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, now my display player total on window requires a renderer parameter first. I'm gonna go with something like renderer, and then a font parameter. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. So I get my console here. Okay, waiting for my window to compile. I get my window here as well. Okay, perfect. Now, you guys, I can like see a tiny bit of 0 up here in case you guys can't see that. If I were to hit something like enter, my score is 0. If I hit enter again, my score is 0. Even though my player total does increase, why is my player total and enemy total like exactly the same every single time? Enemy, player, okay, player total. Okay, player total, enemy total, they both are exactly the same. My total in my window does not update. So to fix that, let's see, maybe firstly I want to go ahead and display remove my console outputs here for my total type stuff. Okay, so this is my player total, that is my enemy total. Okay, and this is my enemy total variable. And then for my player total, oh, I see. Let's change this to something like player total. Okay, no wonder my player's total was not displaying on the window. Did I spell it correct? Oh, this is just going to be total. Let's go with something like total. Okay, now if I were to hit control... Wait, that's supposed to be my player total. And that's supposed to be my enemy total. Player roles, enemy roles. Hold up, guys. I think wait, this should have been my enemy total. Okay, is there something? Is there like a silly mistake that I'm doing up here? Let's see. Let's go with Control Z up here. Okay, now, is there something really, really silly that I'm doing here? Let me think. So the only time my player or enemy total actually registers is when I hit enter. Okay, when I hit enter, I see my total. In the other hand, I want to get my total when I hit something else. Let's see. Okay, then I go ahead and display my total on my window as well. I convert my total to be a string. Am I really doing something wrong up here? So, let's see. Okay, so I have enemy total plus equals to dice, and then I have player total. Alright, here's the thing. When I do roll stuff on my window, everything feels way too clumpy because of what my player rolled and my enemy rolled. So I might actually delete this part for now. Let's go ahead and delete that part. Let's go ahead and delete that part. Now, if I did Control S to save the code again and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. I get my window here. I see my tiny 0 up here. If I did enter, make your own doc so you don't have to memorize. Oh, that actually does make sense. Honestly, I don't like really try to memorize. It just happens for some reason. Okay, that's it. Let's hit enter again. Okay, now I don't get my totals in my window. I just see my dices moving. Okay, could that be because I have my two separate engines up here? One for my player rolling, one for my enemy rolling. So this is my player's engine. After my player's engine, I'm gonna go ahead and display this. Oh wait, this is inside my for loop. Should I have two separate for loops? Would that actually make sense? I want to see what my player rolled and what my enemy rolled, and then I want to see my total as well. Maybe I go with a bunch of Control C's. So there we go. You rolled, enemy rolled. Okay, so when I say something like you rolled, I want to do something. Firstly, before I actually say that, I want to go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator that has like a bunch of hyphens. I gotta count the amount of hyphens that I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think 20 hyphens should suffice, guys. Let's go with 2 / new lines ending with a semicolon. Now let's go ahead and copy this. Speaking of which, guys, why did I even have to like copy my hyphens? That did not make any sense. Let's go ahead and paste this here. I have my players as total. I have my enemies as total. And then I have a standard end line. Okay, I mean, I do have a end line, so I am going to be separated by a new line. I might go with like 3 new lines up here. I just need like enough space, guys. Okay, maybe I'm going to remove the standard end line to be something like a / new line. Let's go with something like a / new line, / new line. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove my standard end line from here as well and add 2 / new lines. You can also add animation when you press space to roll dice. I wanted to do that, but I didn't know how to. You can make dice change a sprite randomly for a second and then show the result. I've been trying to do that. Like, I've never actually created sprites and all that stuff because like it's so hard to actually draw the regular pixel art. I mean, what should we call it? Like, yet alone draw these sprites as well. So I actually don't know how to like animate them. But that's what I was actually going to try figuring out this stream on how to like add an animation of like all 1 through 5 dice changing positions type stuff. That's it. Howdy, Mochi. I appreciate you joining the stream. Last stream, you did join at the very end. So I I felt kind of bad because like I was like we couldn't talk enough. Okay, that's it. Let's see. And then I get my player total and my enemy total. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Okay, let's go all the way here. Maybe add another hyphen. Under my hyphen, I might add 1 / new line. Okay, there we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like, I don't know, maybe total. Okay, maybe 1, 2, 3. Total 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna go with something like / new line, / new line. Ending with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and change my standard end line to a / new line. And guys, this is just for it to look good in console because my console just looks like a pile of clumped up numbers. Yeah, I remember I entered when you closed stream XD, guys. It actually does make sense. I was like, should I stream for longer? But later I was like, I already did the outro. Okay, let's go with /new line, /new line. Okay, perfect. Once I'm done with that, I want to go ahead and end it with what you may call it, a standard console output as well. Maybe I go ahead and exit outside of my for loop. There we go. Let's paste it here. Okay, now if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. This is going to look really, really cool, guys. Okay, so let's get my console up here. Let's get my window up here. Okay, let's see. Now, what if I were to hit something like enter? There we go, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so it says, I wonder if it's used. Why are there like two whole spaces? Maybe. Hold up, guys. Maybe I scroll all the way up here and remove one /new line from here. And remove one /new line from here as well. Okay, now let's hit Control S to save the code again and run the command. Guys, that looked like really, really good. And I realized my console wasn't completely showing on my window. So I might get this here. And let's get my console here. Why are you showing the result in console? Just show it in the UI above. Honestly, I do want to show it like in my actual window instead of on my console. But I show it in my console because it's like easier to firstly see if my logic is correct. And then I later like display that stuff on my window. Okay, player total, enemy total. There we go. Something is wrong with the total logic up here because I gotta go with something like roles. Hold up, guys. Maybe before I actually do start doing something like player total and enemy total, I feel like the artist in me has actually awoken. I want to see something like roles. There we go. Let's hit Control S again and run the code, guys. I'm enjoying just decorating my console for the time being. It's kind of fun. Okay, I think that should be pretty much it for the decoration part though. Let's go ahead and actually hit enter. There we go, that looks kind of good. Okay guys, let me actually remove one /new line from here. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code. So let's get my window up here and my console up here. Okay, or in the results section. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Now, if I hit enter, there we go. That looks good. So, my total is kind of messed up here because my player total does seem to be correct, but my enemy total is not correct. It says, hold on, guys. I rolled once here, so this is my first roll iteration. And then that is my second roll iteration. It says player total, enemy total, player total, enemy total. I paste my player total and enemy total every single iteration. I got it deleted and pasted one iteration. So let's fix that real quick. Now, if I were to go all the way up here. Oh, I see why. Because I use a for loop. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and copy my player total from here. Let's go ahead and copy that to delete it from here. And then I want to go ahead and paste my player total here. Copy my enemy total as well, delete it from there. Let's go ahead and paste my enemy total here. There we go, and then let's remove the extra space from here. Okay, that's what was, I think that is what was making my console look really clumpy. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command again, let's see what happens. I get my console here. And guys, why did my console just extend out? There we go. I hope you guys can like see the console because there are like times when you guys can't actually see my console at all. Let's get my window here. Can't see my console at all, guys. Let's go ahead and extend it from there. There we go. Okay, now, if I did something like enter, it says player total, enemy total. Okay, so if I were to hit, whoops, there we go. If I did enter again, player total 9, enemy total 9. Okay, so I just display my player total every single time and not my enemy total. Gotta fix that. Okay, my man is on the grind. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and delete this part. Now, when I want to actually fix my totals, what is something that I'm doing wrong here? Oh, I see. Okay, guys, technically what I was going wrong is this is my dice's for loop. It's not my enemy totals' for loop. Let's go ahead and delete this part. Let's copy this. Let's go ahead and paste my for loop here. Now, I'm going to go with something like my enemy dice's total. Let's go with something like enemy dice. Enemy dice. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and change my enemy total. Let's change this to be something like enemy total. There we go. To be increasing by my enemy dice at index of I. Alright guys, this is like definitely going to work right now. you're adding same dice for both enemy and player. Honestly, no, it is like different dice. Okay, but I did use like the same vector. That was my bad, guys. If I did control S, now I should be getting different results. So I get my console here. It's actually, whoops, hold up, guys. Here we go. I gotta make sure the console is like visible on my window because most of the time it's not. Let's get my window here. Now, if I hit something like enter, it says my player total is 1, enemy total is 3. In my second iteration, it says my player total is 6, my enemy total is 4. There we go, that actually works. Okay, bro, why not code a dinosaur dancing? Guys, coding a dinosaur dancing does sound kind of fun, but for that I would need like a lot of sprites. I'm awful at drawing actually. That said, the only things that I can actually draw is about to go to Control Shift L and then open my Solution Explorer, like open this in browser. Let's see. So these are literally the only kind of static PNGs that I can draw of like actual player sprites. But when it comes to health bar, that thing is pretty easy, so I can like actually use sprite class for that type stuff. Because dinosaurs are extinct, maybe we find one. Oh wait, was it a joke, guys? Okay, well that's not true because I'm a dinosaur, but if it was, he could just program one. That actually does make sense. Okay, that's it. Now, once I'm done with this, I want to go ahead and display my players' text on my window type stuff. So where do I actually do that? This is inside of my randomsys class. Okay, so I have a role method, display player on window. Okay, so now for my display player on window, what reg do I use? So I create a color, I create a player score surface. For some reason, my player's score is not changing. Maybe let's go ahead and copy this variable. Enemy total, there's total. Let's go ahead and copy that, delete that here. I might actually paste it here. Okay, let's keep these variables to be public data members instead of like protected. Okay, now it should actually work. If I were to hit something like Control S to save the code and run the command and see what happens. I get my console here, I get my window here. I see a tiny 0 there. Let's see if the 0 actually changes when I hit enter. It does not, although my player and enemy total are exactly the same now. Enemy total 4, you rolled 6, 38, 39. Wait, guys, was this just by luck that both numbers landed at the same total? Let's hit enter a few more times. 98, 92. Let's hit it again. 4 and 5, 6 and 6, 4 and 3, 1 and 5. 1 and 5 should make a big difference, guys. There we go. Player total 235, enemy total 219. Okay, just turn this into a gambling game, guys. Gambling game is kind of crazy. Although dice roller game is kind of fun. I might actually add I don't know. I feel like this is like a pretty working on like slots machine and like game type stuff that actually use a random module is like a pretty good practice for it type stuff. That said, is the enemy a dinosaur? Maybe, guys. I could actually keep the enemies and name something like Dino. Okay, that's it. Now, why can't I actually display my player score on my window? Okay, because I do see my text on my window. Could it be that my player text score.c_string is static? That might not be the case, guys. I have a total variable and a enemy total variable. I might copy my total from here. Let's delete it. Let's go ahead and paste my total down here. And I have a enemy total as well. So let's go ahead and copy that, delete this. That is enemy total, and this is my player total. Okay, if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, honestly, am I doing something wrong here? Let me think this through. If I were to hit enter, I get 6, I get 5 and 2. I have 2 different scores. Although, there's like one problem with this. My score happens to never change up here. It's always 0. It's always static. Maybe I want to go ahead and add another static console output to check, let's see, to check these variables here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with something like player text score and enemy text score. What up, guys? Just a sec. Alright, guys, give me a sec. I'll be right back real quick. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, bye guys. I had to like go real quick for a bit. Okay, that's it. Let's see. So where was I? Let me actually just refresh this part. There we go. Okay, so technically now I was about to actually add a static console output to display my player or like my constant string here. So I might go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator that actually displays my player score or my player text scores as variable. There we go. And then I'm gonna go with some actually player text totals is variable with another insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. I did this to check if my static variable does ever change or not. Okay, now if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. Okay, so it is actually 0. It stays 0 every single iteration. Am I like... Okay, so something is like really wrong here. It runs my program really quick and my 0 keeps running. Okay, that shouldn't be the case. The only time I want these variables to actually run / change is... Okay, let's see. Maybe I go ahead and copy these two variables. Let's copy that. Delete this from here. Okay, I want to paste this inside my return. So only time I want it to change is when I click my enter on my keyboard. Okay. Other thing is it doesn't even change. Like it never changed depending on my total. So total plus equals to dice at index of I. Okay, so my total and my enemy total should be changing here. Now if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, I get an error here. Let's see. Oh wait, my bad guys. Player total. Okay, that says player text total. Display it on window. Okay, convert this to be a C string. So apparently I don't think I can actually have them right here. Am I like doing something wrong here? I honestly don't think so. Let's copy this. Okay, could it be that something else is the issue here? I have like so many variables up here. Okay, can I like use... Okay, I don't think I can use one variable for like doing both those things. Okay, but let's see. I have a standard string player variable that I converted to string. I convert my total to string. I convert my enemy total to string. They start at 0. Oh, I see. Okay. Maybe they only change inside when I hit enter type stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, I want to test something else. If I did Control S to save the code and run the command. Now, in my console, the 0 is like, it's just spamming 0. But what if I type something like enter? What up, guys? Since I typed enter, it says player total, enemy total. But it still spams 0 constantly. Okay, and my number doesn't change on my window. Might have to ask Sensei/ChatGPT for this part, guys. Because I think I'm doing everything correct, honestly. But like, nothing's actually making a difference up here. What up, guys? Let's get Sensei/ChatGPT up here. In that loop, the address to total you're doing, I'm wrong. You're adding all the numbers from 1 to the number volt. Huh, I see. Okay, that's it. Maybe let's go ahead and paste this here. Go with shift enter and say something like, should say, I fixed almost everything here, but when I try to display my player total on my window, I can't see the number change. It's just a static 0. Maybe I know why. Hold up, guys. This always works. Every time I try to add a stuff like every time I try asking something to Sensei/ChatGPT, I feel like I already get the answers. Okay, hold up, guys. Maybe because I start my number at 0, I gotta start this at like nothing. Okay, there we go. And then I ended with a semicolon. Now, if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Bro looked in. Okay, guys, never mind. I think I was kind of wrong. My number still doesn't change. I thought that would have made a difference because usually when I actually try displaying something on my window... Wait, I removed the wrong variables, guys. Hold up. Okay, wait. I gotta remove these zeros from here. Enemy total and player total. Okay, now if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. So, I get my console here, which starts at 0. If I did something like enter, my number apparently doesn't change. Okay, never mind, guys. My hunch was kind of wrong. Let's go with a bunch of Control C's. Okay, now let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. It feels much better when I ask you a question. Press F11. Honestly, would that even like tell me what's the mistake here? Okay, guys, my window where I see my chats is like completely black right now. Dice.png1. Oh. Hold on, guys. Wait, but I don't have any error in my code though. Hold up, let's see. Is it even compiling properly? Or is it just me? Wait, I think it's just me. Hold up, guys. So let's see. Let's go all the way there. Guys, is this how we like okay, is this actually how we debug? Did I see a breakpoint up there? Never mind. Okay, display scoreboard. That part's correct. Let's go ahead and check these. That part's correct. Okay, let's go all the way down here to... I mean, everything is correct. It just seems like a logic flaw out here. Hold up, guys. This might just be a common logic flaw. Let's scroll all the way down here. Okay, I think it's like almost gonna end like up here if I were to go all the way there. Alright, guys, I think let me go ahead and exit my debugging real quick. Let's exit my console. Guys, I have a whole console in my other window. How do I get rid of the console? Let's exit that. Okay, apparently my other window was having like a console. It doesn't anymore. To debug, same, check which part is printing 0. Honestly, I know the part that's printing 0, but then I don't have an error. Like, I'm printing 0 on purpose because like my actual enemy's score is changing, but when I display that score on my window, it stays a static 0 type stuff. That's let's see. Okay, so display enemy score on window. I don't need this method, so I could... Wait, could it be that two methods are like overlapping? That's why. Let's go ahead and delete this method from here because I wouldn't need it. Display scoreboard. I just need my display scoreboards as method. I honestly don't even need my display player score on window. So this is player score surface. Wait, I create two surfaces here. One is player score texture, second is player score. Let's go ahead and remove these two variables. Okay, then I create a vector for my scores. I wouldn't need my scores as vector as well. I'm just creating this for like my scoreboard, so I might go with something like a scoreboards as class. I mean, I think I could keep it something like score graphics, but my actual score graphics is inside of my randoms as class. Okay, maybe I have my variables here though. Enemy rolling. Okay, 0 0 and then dice. Enemy dice. Score text. Okay, I mean, I did check almost everything. You can hover over the variable to check the values. Check their values are wrong. Hover over the variable. I mean, honestly, I feel like the value is like correct type stuff because like it's not an error. I feel like my displays is my displays text not increasing. That for loop for total, can you explain it? The for loop for total. Let's see. Okay, for this, basically what I do here, I add this for loop to actually get my players as total. So I go with like, I use a index based for loop and get my players, my dice as vector. This only consists of all the numbers that my player rolled, and then later on I add my totals as variable, which is like my player total. Technically I didn't want like change this to be player total because I had to like change it everywhere. I was kind of lazy, so my player total is my regular total variable is technically my player total, but I add my total variable by my dice at index of 1. So every single element that's inside of my vector, it adds with my total, which starts off at 0, and then later on I go ahead and display my total on my window. But before I actually display it, hold up guys, did I actually display it really? Oh, I see. Okay, so I created a total variable here, but then I had to actually convert. Wait, I see guys. Let's copy this part, let's delete that. What if I were to actually paste my total somewhere down here before I break? Right here. Technically what this does, wait, this is now inside of my for loop. Player text total. Okay, never mind guys, I thought I was actually going somewhere out there. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Paste it up there. Okay, this is my method. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Okay, but here's the thing, when I actually convert my variables to be like C string. Oh, wait, let's copy that part. Let me scroll all the way down here, exit outside of my class. Maybe I go ahead and paste these variables here. That would make more sense. Hold up, guys, this actually might work. Okay, you should assign the total to the string after you calculate it. There we go. That was the thing that I was not looking at. I knew that it was like a logic error. I convert these variables to total at the very top, but I never convert it after these things are actually turned into strings type stuff. Okay, if you just initialize it and assign it, then it won't update automatically. That actually does make sense. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. It's still spamming 0, but I think I have some hope, guys. Never mind, I don't. Let's go ahead and exit that. My destructor was activated. Why does it not change here? Let me think. Okay, maybe because I actually updated it inside of my inside of a events loop. It just updates while I'm clicking enter. I have two engines, one for my player seed, one for my enemy seed. Then I have my players as total, enemies as total. That displays perfectly here. Although, let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, what if I fill in, what if I like require a few more parameters inside of my function up here? I require render, I require scale, I require font. Render, font, scale. Okay, then in that case, I might actually copy this. Hold on, guys, I think I might be up to something up here. Let's go ahead and copy that. Let's go ahead and maybe paste this right here. I don't know, let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and copy all the content from here. Delete this, remove my method from here. Let's go ahead and delete that. And before I actually break, I want to go ahead and display my stuff on my window. Did I actually break the wrong way, guys? I mean, did I actually paste this the wrong way? Let's delete my break for the time being. There we go. I'm gonna go with enter, paste this here. I display all that stuff. So that's an if statement. Let's go all the way here. Maybe, should I actually remove this? Okay, that would like make my if statement. Okay, so this is where my case starts. I want to go ahead and indent this. And once I'm done with that, maybe my if statement, it starts there. Okay, and what is this for? I don't think I actually need that. Hold up, guys, let me actually think if I missed a pair of curly braces up here. I do need it. Am I trying to close something? Just use global variable and update it. I could actually. What actually is the required outcome? Honestly, every time I hit enter, I want to see my score changing on my window type stuff. That said, I go ahead and create a class. Wait, hold up, guys. I think I copied the wrong part. So let's go ahead and hit a bunch of Control-Z's. I don't think you have a good understanding of how classes and function scope works. Honestly, I think I do, but then actually, I don't think I'm like really good with it type stuff. That's it. I do actually think I could like try converting these things to be like global variables. Okay, I thought you want to add only the number rolled to the total, but why are you adding the elements? Don't you think total number gets big very fast? Honestly, it does, but I want to like add a cap of something like 10, like in like 10 rounds, which if either my player or my enemy gets the highest number or the highest score, they actually win type stuff. Okay, let's see. So I want to go ahead and copy everything until here. Okay, that should work now. If I were to copy that, delete all this parts. Okay, let's go ahead and delete this. Now, if I were to go ahead and paste this here, let's see what happens. There we go. Okay, now, if I did Control S to save the code, let's scroll all the way down real quick. I want to go ahead and remove a method from here. Okay, if this part, I'm pretty sure this is going to work, but in case this didn't work, I'm going to try like globalizing my total variable, my player total and my enemy total variable. That's it. If I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. Okay, you're not updating the player text. Am I not? Hold up, guys. Okay, this part actually did not work. Wait, before I actually check if it did work, if I hit enter. Okay, if I hit enter, it still is 0 that I print here. So I think I gotta go with the plan B, guys. Let's go ahead and get my variables all the way up there. Let's convert these two variables to be global variables. Before that, I want to go with a bunch of control Z's. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste this down here. And then let's go ahead and maybe I'm gonna go ahead and delete my two variables from here now. I still have access to those variables. And then inside my method here, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's paste these two variables. Hold up, guys, let's delete that real quick. Okay, didn't want to paste that, my bad, guys. I wanted to paste these two variables. Let's copy that, delete it from here. Hello, how are you doing? Just for fun, I appreciate you joining the stream. Now, let's go ahead and add a bunch of spaces here, paste this here. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here, and I get my... Why does the 0 keep spamming? And most of all, if I hit enter, my number does change, guys. I'm going to take this as a win. But even if it does, is it like natural for like my console to be spamming these numbers? I mean, I could remove the standard console output, but doesn't this cost memory or something? Okay, maybe. Oh, I see. Okay. In that case, since I don't want to do this, I might require something like a SDL underscore events structure, which consists of a events local variable representing it. This is going to be something like a constant event. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's say add a if statement, if a pair of parentheses. Let's say something like if my event.type, let's go with something like my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore done. If my event type is key down, I'm going to do something. Firstly, I want to go ahead and add a switch. My switch is going to be having a key here. But to have access to my keys as local variable, I'm going to use the SDL underscore key codes structure, which is going to be represented by a keys as a variable that is going to be equal to my event.key.key. Then I ended with a semicolon. Now inside my switch, I'm gonna check if my SDL's key is returned, and only if my return is clicked. Then I want to go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and copy this part all the way till here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and paste that right here. There. This is going to be a case. So for my case 1, if my key is returned, then I do that. And once I'm done with that, I go ahead and break. Okay, and then let's go ahead and delete these extra spaces. Alright, perfect. Now, only when I hit return, my total is going to be displayed on a window. If I hit Control S to save the code. My bad, guys, I forgot to fill in a parameter down here. I'm going to be adding a events parameter. Since this is an events parameter, should I actually add this variable of my display stuff inside of my event loop? Okay, and then my die start roll. Which program type is that? Program type. Honestly, the language is C++. That said, I get my console here, and the program that I'm trying to build is like, there we go. Okay, my total is not being displayed on my window at the time being. If I hit enter, well, my total changes in my console, but not in my window. To fix that, I wouldn't need a events variable here, because it won't display on my window until I don't actually have it on my window type stuff. Maybe I might go with a bunch of control Z's. I think that is how usually it works, guys. I think that's the best way for it to actually work. Let's go with a bunch of control Z's, remove this. Let's go ahead and remove my event type. So there we go. Okay, let's remove all those variables. Now, all I'm gonna do is remove my... I had a standard console output somewhere up here, guys. So, hold up, give me a sec. Let me actually remove that standard console output that displays my variables. Okay, I think I actually removed it. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Okay, in my console, I see 0 spamming, so I still have that variable somewhere. I just gotta see real quick. So I have a... What if I go with something like Control F? Let's go with something like console output. I have a ton of console outputs, guys. Let's go to the next one. Don't need that. So you volt. Okay, and these are the general console outputs. Player text total. There we go. I gotta go ahead and remove this. And now if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, I won't be seeing zero spamming at least. I don't see zero spamming, but I think like my zero is still spamming in my void type stuff. That's let's get my window here. If I did something like enter, my player's score does change. That is a pretty good thing. Okay, I get my total here. Player total is 34 and enemy 74. That is correct. Okay guys, that took a while. Now all I gotta do is just change my position. So maybe I want to go ahead and increase my scale first, but I want to change my... Okay guys, let me just pause my stream up here. I want to go towards the right, so I'm at 100. I might change this to be something like 800. There we go. Isn't 800 going to be 2 to the right? 600. Let's hit Control S to save the code and run the command. I want to see where I see my 0. Okay, I see it there. Maybe I go with 500. 400. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change this to be something like 400. Hold up guys, I'm kind of stupid. Before I actually change it to be 400, I want to get my actual scale, so I'm gonna change this to be from 0.8 to something like 1.3. So this is like 130% of its original text size. If I were to Control S again, okay, my score is pretty big up here. Do I want it to be like bigger than this? I don't think so. Okay, but I do want to go a bit more to the left. Maybe like 100 pixels more to the left. So let's exit my console. Let's see. I'm at 400. I want to be at 300. And then I'm going to go with something like 300 by maybe 600. If I were to hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I'm not getting my console, I'll just be getting my window here. Alright guys, 600 is too low and 300 is too low. I gotta go, excuse me guys, I gotta go with 350 and something like 500. Let's go with something like 350 and 500. I could use math to do that part, but guys, I feel like I don't even like know the basics of that kind of math, because like we gotta like know our PNG really good, like the dimension of our PNG, to actually get my 0 in like the correct location. Because right now if I were to like increase my window, I mean, it does stay still type stuff. I want to increase the size. It doesn't feel that good. I don't know why. Something feels kind of messed up here. Probably because my size is like too small. I might increase my size to be something like 2. Is that a big enough size? Let's hit Control S to save the code. Okay, this looks much better. All I gotta do is go a bit lower. Okay, let's go a bit lower. So I'm gonna go all the way up here. Let's change 500 to be 600. I hope 600 isn't like really low. Okay, it is really low. I'm gonna change that to be something like 550. Hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Okay guys, I can't run the command while it's already being run. There, let's get my window here. Okay, I won't say this is bad. It's not what I expected it to be, but I won't say it's bad, so I'll take it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and exit this part. And now I gotta go ahead and display my player text, my enemy total on my window as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Have you done whole CSS course? Honestly, I haven't like learned CSS yet. That's it. Hi doing, Nikhil. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, now let's go ahead and whoops, I gotta copy my entire method from here, because I'm going to be using the exact same method. I don't know if there's like an easier way to do this part, but I feel my enemy and player should always be like separate methods, because like in case I want to add some twerks from my enemy or like some kind of stuff from my player type stuff. Okay, let's see. This is going to be something like enemy text total, and that is player text total. The only stuff that I'm going to be using here is my player text. I'm going to remove my enemy text from there, and I remove my player text from here. Okay, hello, hiding Nikhil. I appreciate you joining the stream. Now, okay guys, the real tricky part. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Be very careful to not miss anything. I'm gonna change my player score text surface to be my enemy score text surface. There we go, guys. I gotta be really careful. W programmer, honestly, that does mean the world to me, son. I appreciate you for that. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, let's think really carefully up here. And guys, a really fun fact is it feels real cool, because like I was gonna ask Sensei/ChatGPT. I'm glad you guys like actually started like saying me to like look it out and all that, so I could actually figure it out my own type stuff as well. Let's go ahead and change this to be something like enemy. Okay, bro, I'm a fan of your English. Guys, fan of my English is actually kind of cool. I get that really rare, but that actually does mean the world to me. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and copy this, paste it here. Guys, am I getting like every single thing? So I gotta change all my players to be enemies. And then when I go ahead, did I create like a player rect up here? Okay, let's go ahead and copy my enemy score rect. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that here. Change these attributes. Let's go ahead and change that as well. Enemy score dot width, enemy score rect dot height. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna change my 350 position to be something like 550 because I want it to be a bit more towards the right. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and change my player score text texture to be my enemy score text texture. Let's copy that, paste it here, and then my enemy score text texture to destroy it. I'm gonna copy my enemy score rect and paste my DST rect up here. And lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and copy my enemy score text texture and paste it here. I think I changed everything correctly, guys. I was really thorough with this stuff. Okay, now I go ahead and just copy my method name, scroll all the way down here until my graphics section right. What up, guys? Where's my graphics? I initialize my SDL, I fill my stuff. There we go, graphics. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know, maybe use my random object dot the display enemy total on window. This method does require 3 parameters. The first is going to be render, the second is going to be font, the third is going to be height, ending with a semicolon. Okay, do you live in a foreign country, brother, because your accent is amazing? Honestly, that could be the case, actually. That's it. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command and see what happens. I get my console here. Guys, I predicted my positions almost correctly. I want to go a bit more towards the right, so I might change my enemies' rect to be something like 600 instead of 550. Create Flappy Bird next. Also add in GUI to it and play around with it. Actually does make sense. I might actually create Flappy Bird, guys, but I actually didn't want to be a software developer. I want to actually work on AI logic as well. But I might actually have time for Flappy Bird because like Flappy Bird does sound kind of fun. I feel Flappy Bird is going to be pretty easy as well. All I gotta do is learn a new stuff to actually move my poles and everything around. Guys, does this look even? Maybe I go with something like 595. Hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the window. There we go, so I get my window here. Guys, does this look even? I think it looks even. Okay, let's get my window here. Let's get my console here. Now, if I did something like enter, my player's total is 1, my enemy's total is 2, my player's total is 7, enemy total is 6, 14, 16 when it comes to 2 digits. Now, let me go to 3 digits real quick. Okay, I might want to get my player's total a bit towards the left. Actually, my enemy's total, let's change this to something like 500. Maybe, I mean, it's not bad. I won't say it's bad. I have 10 rounds. What's the worst that happens in like 10 rounds? This looks awful. If I were to go with a bunch of stuff, the numbers do increase, but I don't know, guys. It's, even though it does increase, it doesn't like it doesn't feel real good. Like, what if I go to like 100,000? I mean, it looks pretty clean here because later I was gonna add like a cap for like level and all that stuff. My console looks much better than my window, guys. I want my window to look as good as well. Maybe 595. I mean, I was trying to just create a dice roller program that I did. I'm not gonna be working on the aesthetics type stuff. Okay, because guys, I think I need like a whole separate stream for that. Download and font that matches your pixel art. Download and font that matches your pixel art. Speaking of which, for Flappy Bird, I'm pretty sure that I might actually need to actually work with. I actually forgot what I wanted to say. I think I need to learn pixel perfect collision for that, because right now if I were to collide with something like, for example, my poles or something, I'm not going to be touching my pole. I'm going to be touching its rect type, so if that makes any sense. So I do got to learn pixel perfect for that as well. Okay, let's hit something like enter for 13, 28, 47, 63, 84, 150. How did 150 add up to 188? Okay, my enemy is 202. Let's see what my enemy rolls. How did 202 become 242, guys? Something isn't padding up here. Numbers should not be increasing that quick. Okay, so when I go ahead and add my total, I'm adding my total something wrong. I gotta go with something like, oh, I see. At index of, let's say, something like -1 or something like enemy dice dot back. Hold on, guys, I might not need my for loop at all here. I might go ahead and increase my total by my enemy. What was my vector's name, guys? I forgot. My dice. Let's copy my dice dot back. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste my die. Whoops. Let's go with something like dice dot back. This would make more sense now. Ending with a semicolon. And then I go with something like enemy total. Total dot. It's gonna increase by my enemy dice dot back. Because guys, there is no way I could roll anything that gets my 202 to like my 202 to like 242 after just one roll. If I did control S to save the code now and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. I get my... Waiting for my window to compile. There we go. Now if I did enter 3, 4, 10, 12, 15, 19, 25, 29. There we go. This is much better. Now if I spam, that's when my number increases really, really quick. But if I don't spam, there we go. 143, 158, 152. Okay, both numbers are the same here, but it does change perfectly. There, that's actually pretty good. Okay, that should be pretty much it for my dice roller program. I didn't want to do something real fancy and all that stuff because I do want to like work on different stuff as well. I think I understand how the random works now, guys. For random, all I gotta do is I forgot my engine's name, guys. The functions are the harder part. I gotta create a unsigned seed which is equal to the standard chrono steady clock now function. Standard chrono steady clock now function. Okay, and then I use the standard MT19937's engine that has a parameter of my player seed. Then I use the uniform underscore integer underscore distributions template that has the pair of ankle braces, which is going to be having a local variable representing it. That is a cap. Okay, I see. Okay, do you need to store every roll in vector? Honestly, I store like every... I mean, I don't really have to store every roll in vector because like that wouldn't, because like unless I'm not trying to add my entire total, but I do that like every single iteration. So I feel like my vector would like, it would be the same even if I didn't have vector right here. So maybe could I go with something like my total is going to increase by my regular roll variable. So I might go with something like rolling. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Then I'm going to go ahead and change my enemy total is going to increase by my enemy rolling. Okay, well, very vet code though. We enjoy typing. That actually does make sense. Let's go with something like enemy rolling. So, okay, perfect. Now, I might not even need my vectors up here. I'm going to go ahead and remove my vector. Let's go ahead and remove my pushback because actually that does make sense. This is not history to store like every single thing. So I wouldn't need vectors. All I gotta do is display my stuff on my window. My total is gonna be my rolling variable. Actually, my total and my enemy total, player total. There. Now, if I did control S to save the code, I'm gonna get the exact same result, but without having a vector as well. I get my console, I get my window. Every time I hit enter, my numbers change. Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and hit Control A and Control C to copy the code. Let's get some /ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, let's say something like, I'm done with my dice roller program exclamation. Okay, let's see. Okay, what is some other thing that I gotta do? Now I definitely want to work with like AI logic because like my C++ for 100 series is coming to an end. So I gotta somehow figure out how to use my Python. Actually, how to use Python in my C++ project and then work with AI logic type stuff. That's it. Sensei stands up straight for this one. You finished it. Not mostly done, not kind of works, but you built a full dice roller system with inputs. RNGs, I think, is this considered RNG or PNG? State, rendering, and score tracking. This is real engineering period. You wrestled with random engines and distributions, event-driven input state that persists across frames, standard rendering with SDL_TDF type stuff. The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried, said by Confucius, is that how you pronounce the name? That said, what is something else that I want to do? Let me say something like, say, I want to work with AI logic now. That said, I don't actually know what slash how to do it because I am trying to use Python in my C++ program, but it seems hard question mark. How do I add it? Or like, let me ask something like, is it possible to do that question mark in Visual Studio? Okay, let's see. RNG equals random number generation. I see. I honestly thought it was something like PNG. Never mind. Okay, that's it. Since they slams it does. Hold up, guys. Let me actually mute myself real quick. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. I thought that it was like some kind of background noises. That's it. Let's see. Since they slammed the desk with love, yes, it is possible. You're not crazy for feeling it's hard, and yes, you're standing at a real crossroads now. Listen closely, people. This is a big brain moment. Using Python inside a C++ program is trying to speak two languages once while building a robot. It can be done, but it's not where you start. In Visual Studio, you have three real paths. Only one is correct, right? Okay, only one is correct right now. First, the truth, no sugarcoating. Python in C++ means embedding Python interpreter, is that how you pronounce it? Linking Python libraries. I tried doing that stuff, managing memory across languages, debugging two runtimes at once. That is advanced engineering. Not I just want to build my first system stuff. If you force this now, it will burn time and learning nothing, and I do not allow time wasting. Okay, guys, is it like a waste of time? Second, what AI logic actually means important. AI logic not equal to machine learning. AI logic equals to decision making. Most game AI is if/else state machines, randomness with rules, weights and priorities. No Python, no machine learning, just smart logic. Your dice game, it is already 30% AI, you just don't see it yet. Is it AI? Did I like add AI there? That's a third, the correct path. This is the one you take. Phase 1, AI logic. In pure C++, you learn enemy behavior rules, turn-based decisions, probabilities, risk versus reward logic. Excuse me, guys. Example thinking, not code. If enemy total is greater than player total, play aggressive win. If enemy total close to win, play safe. Sometimes ignore logic buff. I see. So it's not generative AI. It's actually game AI type stuff. Although here's the thing, maybe my goal by the end of my program for like 250 CVs was to make a game that consisted of AI logic in it. So it could be something like this, but I wanted to make games like Arkanator that has like a brain of its own type stuff. But I gotta like embed that brain depending on moods using enums. That actually does sound kind of fun. This is done via files, sockets, or APIs. I have never used APIs. Okay, I've heard of APIs. I'm kind of curious what that actually does. Not embedding yet. Phase 3, embedding Python. Final boss. Only when you're confident in C++, you understand game loops deeply. You actually need Python libraries. Then we go monster mode. What you should do next stream? Yes, I'm telling guys, not next stream. I'm gonna like have us be streaming for like a while. Okay, game AI is not the same as generative AI. That actually does make sense. Someone else did say me that as well. But for some reason, I keep like confusing the logic. Cause is it like possible to actually add a chat bot, talk inside our actual window type stuff? We could do that maybe and make the chatbot move or something. That does sound kind of advanced, but it does sound kind of fun as well. Okay, you will build rule-based AI for your DICE game. No Python, no machine learning, just clean thinking logic. Okay, when you master that. Okay, when you master that, Python will feel easy, not scary. Remember this quote from the stream? And I say it proudly, complexity is not intelligence, clarity is said by Sarah Sensei, guys. Was it actually said by Sarah Sensei? Okay, you're not behind, you're exactly where a future AI engineer should be. Okay, that said, so what is the next project or what is the next thing that I should learn? Because I actually think that I've learned almost everything that I can think of. Is there something else that I might want to work with? I might want to work on, maybe more mood logic and all that stuff, depending, because like I actually don't know. Let me think. Because I did not create like a SDL3 roadmap just yet because I was still using my PyGames roadmap and SDL3 type stuff. Okay, that is quite possible and very easy with API. Okay, guys, I was going to ask about APIs. I forgot all about that. Okay, that is quite possible and very easy with API, and many open source resources are there for that. I see. Okay, let me say something like, I might say it later. That said, let's go with something like Control A, Control C, copy that. Here's the thing, I feel awful deleting this code. It took me a while to write. Maybe I open my Python project. Okay, let's go with something like, I have a code here as well. Maybe I go ahead and create another project. So there we go. Okay guys, maybe I exit my VS Code real quick or my Visual Studio real quick. Lampy.c++, good place to start, I see. Okay, maybe I'm going to go ahead and create a new project real quick. I want to go ahead and create a console app for my C++. Should I create console app or like window? Maybe I go with something like empty project, maybe console app. Let's go with something like next. Okay, let's go with Control A, Control V. I just want to paste my code here because I don't want to like lose my code when I delete it type stuff. Now let's go back to my SDL3 project. I'm going to go ahead and save stuff from there. Now I can finally delete this stuff, because guys, before I used to like delete my stuff without hesitation because it was not like really hard that I actually wrote. These codes, it feels awful deleting it without having a backup. Dude, try CUDA programming. Honestly, I've like heard of CUDA programming, but I haven't like worked with it. What does it actually mean? That said, now let's say the project that I do want to create is I don't want to go with the Flappy Bird though. I mean, Flappy Bird does sound kind of fun, but I want to work with something that has like moods and like AI stuff in it. Maybe I go ahead and create a project where my user talks with my NPC type stuff depending on his mood. I did go over that stuff, but I might need more project. My end goal by the end of this 250-day series should be to make a game in general that consists of AI logic. If I want to consist of AI logic, feel this isn't live. It's actually live, guys. Let's go ahead and type something like, I don't know, maybe something like, it's live, exclamation. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Now, once I'm done with that, guys, I want to work with AI logic, but this series just says me to make a game that consists of AI logic. Maybe, what if I go ahead and make a PNG that chases my player? That sounds kind of fun, guys. Might do that. GPU accelerated programming essential. What goes under the hood of Torch? TensorFlow, I see. Lampy is an open source software library and interface engine written in C/C++ that enables efficient local execution of large language models like LLMs. In that case, I might actually try that. Okay, but before I actually do that, I want to go ahead and create a project where like my enemy actually chases my player, because I feel like I might actually need this part if I ever have like checkpoints. So my enemy would walk to my checkpoints and my player would actually follow my enemy. Speaking of which, what if I actually create a map? Maybe after I'm done with this stream, I might actually work on creating or like drawing a whole map. It's going to be really big in our map, guys, or like a kind of ugly looking map. But then I could go ahead and add like checkpoints in my map. Okay, great. Love your logic. Keep on coding, bro. Honestly, I appreciate you. Weatheron, is that how I pronounce your name? That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and include iOS stream. And then let's go ahead and include, I don't know, maybe SDL3 slash SDL.h, which is SDL3 and SDL2 header files. Okay, here's the thing, guys. I wasn't limited to SDL. Should I actually work with game engines now? Maybe. Let me actually add a poll for that, because I feel like I'm really good with, with C++ and SDL now. All I want to do is now work with game engines, because that could help me make 3D models and all that stuff. Does that make sense, guys? Hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and create a poll real quick. Let's go all the way there. I'm still confused. Yeah, I used LLM too. Hiding long story, hiding pixels. I appreciate you guys joining the stream. Okay, that's it, guys. Let me go ahead and add a poll real quick. Okay, should I go ahead and still work with SDL or like use a game engine? Because I feel I know SDL and like I know the programming part really well. I still need practice, but if I actually move on to a engine, would I really would I still be programming there? Because if I move to an engine, I do want to like code on my engine type stuff. That's it. Maybe I go ahead and add a text poll. Let's say something like, should I still, maybe let's go ahead and get that here so you guys can see it as well. Still, let's go ahead and get that here, extend this part. Okay, if you want to use C++, then you can use Raylib. I see. I was thinking to use like Vulkan or like Unreal. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now I'm back. Hiding Pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, should I use SDL3 or game engines now? Question mark. Let me give in a few options. Go with something like SDL3. Let's go with something like, okay, wait, let's say something like SDL3 or game engines. Hold on, guys, I might actually make it look a bit cool because I like making my text and everything look a bit cool, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's see, should I SDL3 or game engines? Maybe I go ahead and remove the now from there. Okay, so I might go with something as SDL3. Vulkan, and guys, what are a few game engines? I actually don't know. So there's SDL3, there's Vulkan, there's Raylib. Might go with something like Raylib. So I'm pretty sure there's OpenGL as well, but I don't know all the engines that I can use for like C++. Okay, why do you want to use a game engine, brother? Don't you have a roadmap or these skills you need for your career? Honestly, for the time being, I am like working on my program for like 250 series. My goal by the end of that series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic. The reason I started using SDL3 because it was like a pretty easy graphics library like Pygames, but I do understand the programming part, but I don't know if I can like make 3D games or like something like 3D stuff inside my SDL. Can I do that? Vulkan is graphics library. It's much harder than what you're doing now. You'll have to make your own shaders and stuff. That sounds kind of fun, although I don't know what shaders is actually. The thing is, if I am starting something, I want to like work because like, can we actually add game logic in like actually engines as well? I'm not game logic, but I forgot what I wanted to say actually. This is the exact same problem that I went through when I was actually learning SDL because I didn't know where to start or like what to do type stuff. Can I use AI logic inside of my game engines? Vulkan is not a game engine. It's very hard. Honestly, what is Vulkan for in that case? I mean, since it's hard, it does make sense. I want to like try something that's kind of tough. I have Raylib, I have SDL3, SDL3 or game engines. Okay, maybe wait, let's get Sensei/ChatGPT up here real quick. I want to ask a question real quick. What up, guys? Let's go all the way there. Okay, let's go ahead and get my poll up here. Let's get that here. Okay, let's say something like, let's say I feel like, let's go with something like I feel like, I understand. Okay, nice. So your end goal is to build a game, then good. That actually does make sense. That consists of AI logic. Maybe once my program for like 250 series is over, I'm gonna have another series where my goal is to make a chatbot because I do want to work with AI logic more. If you use engine, you'll need to learn whole new thing. There will still be coding, but a lot of new stuff. It's like Photoshop. You can still draw there, but there's a lot of other things. I should actually sounds kind of cool as long as I can like actually program and like write code there and all that stuff. That actually might work with me. Let's go with something like, I feel like I understand SDL3 really nicely or like really good. So, okay, that said, maybe I was thinking to move on to game engines, but I don't know what all to move on to and what do they do, question mark. Okay, let's say I know C++, I know C++, and can we use game engines to make chatbots as well, question mark? Guys, this is like kind of tricky to actually phrase. Can we use like game engines to make chatbots and like, so let's see, let's go with something like chatbots. Okay, was there something else that I wanted to ask? Let's see, and what, okay, and what are the game engines that you would recommend that I use for let's say something like C++, because my goal by the end of my programming for 250 days series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic. Okay, let's see, brother, you would classify yourself as beginner. Would you classify yourself as beginner or intermediate in C++? I would say beginner, maybe because I'm just acting a bit humble type stuff, because I feel like even though I know SDL and I know how to use like C++ with SDL, when it comes to raw C++ coding, I could do those stuff, but I don't know the regular C++ function libraries just yet, all those stuff, because I am used to the SDL's functions, libraries, and all that stuff that makes any sense. But before I actually move on to game engines, I do want to make a lot of tutorial videos about SDL, because so I don't forget it like eventually in the future if I want to like review the stuff. There are almost no SDL tutorials out there, guys. Use Raylib or OpenGL for beginners, I see. Okay, Sensei stares, nods, and smiles just a little. This is a real question. That means you've outgrown just coding and started thinking like a game developer. First, important corrections so your brain is clean. SDL is not a game engine. SDL is a low-level toolbox. You've been building the engine pieces by hand. That's why you're strong you are. Now, let me lay the map on the table. What a game engine actually does. A game engine is a factory, not magic. Okay, it handles rendering, graphics, shaders, lighting, physics, collision, forces, audio inputs, scene management, assets loading, editor tools, drag, drop, tweak. What it does not do, think for you, design AI, make good games automatically. AI logic is always a responsibility. Okay, can game engines use AI/chatbots? Yes, use. I wanted to say make, but listen closely. Engines do not have chatbots. They call C++ code, they call Python code, they call APIs, they read files, they communicate with servers. So a chatbot in a game is game engine, your logic, AI system, response, game. I see. Engines are the body, AI is the brain. C++ engines you should actually care about is Unreal Engine. The Titan, this is one that I recommend the most for your goal. Why? Written in C++, industry standard, built-in AI system, behavior trees, blackboards, visual tools plus real code, massive documentation, scales from indie AAAs. I'm assuming AAA is like 3D game type stuff. You can write pure C++ AI, okay, add rule-based logic, later connect Python or external AIs, guys. Unreal it is. Build real production games. If your goal is I want to be taken seriously, Unreal. Godot, the clean thinker. Godot is lighter, cleaner, faster to prototype. Engine is okay. I mean, I will go with Unreal in that case, since I did like recommend that stuff, and I can actually connect my Python with the type stuff. So next stream we talk Unreal plus AI, guys. Not next stream. I want to like work on this stream as well. For AI-based chatbots, stick with FarmStack. Sadly, C++ don't stick into this picture. Honestly, I do want to create a chatbot, but not for my this series. This series, my goal is to just make a game engine that consists of AI logic. So it's not going to be a generative AI. Instead, it's going to be like in game AI type stuff. It's too advanced, guys. That actually does make sense. I want to do something that's really hard, because like that's where the real fun comes. I honestly appreciate you, Chronic. That actually means the world to me, guys. Fast API plus LangChain plus Rex plus Monongo DB or other DB for full stack AI applications. I see. Okay, guys, I think Unreal Engine it is. Although I don't know anything about Unreal Engine. Maybe I'm gonna come to that part when I actually like get to it. Alright, guys, maybe I go ahead and add a poll, but I won't be adding other options here. Let's go ahead and remove these options. I'm just gonna be saying something like, how do you delete options? Can't you delete them? Okay, let's go with something like Unreal Engine. SDL3 or Unreal Engine. How do you spell Unreal? Okay, so it's all uppercase. Is it actually uppercase, or is that just inside typing stuff? Okay, let's see. Let's go all the way up to like Unreal. Okay, Unreal Engine is uppercase. Is it? Maybe I make it sound. I make it look a bit classy. Let's go with something like Unreal Engine. Okay, I might actually just go with Unreal. This looks much better. Let's go with something like Unreal Engine. Okay, now I'm gonna have SDL3, and let's go with something like Unreal Engine. Okay, and guys, can you guys like pick like Unreal Engine? Because I feel like I didn't learn enough SDL3. I mean, is there like, should I even like, is there even a purpose to add a poll up here? Okay, let's go with something like in comments. Can I delete this? I want to just add like two, like I want it to be 50-50 type stuff. Maybe I might go with something like Vulkan, because I highly doubted that anyone is going to like pick Vulkan up here. If I were to hit something like post, let's see. Guys, I might actually go with Unreal Engine up here. Oh, I can like participate inside the poll. Maybe I go ahead and cancel that part. Okay, that's it now. Okay, so ChatGPT gaslighting hard, guys. That actually does make sense. Okay, that's it. Now that's actually pretty much it today. In that case, is there something else that I want to do? Because I will be working on like downloading Unreal Engine. Maybe I want to learn how to download Unreal Engine this stream. Okay, Unreal does use C++, right? So, I mean, I could actually add that inside of my C++ for 100 series type stuff. Let's say something like, how do I install Unreal Engine question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, Sensei steps in. Why slow serious? This is a foundation movement. Do not rush it. I'll walk you through this cleanly. No confusion. No noise. Step 1. Understand this first. Important, you do not download Unreal Engine directly. I was going to try that. Unreal is managed through Epic Game Launcher. Think of it like this. Epic Game Launcher equals to Control Panel. Unreal Engine equals to Power Tools. Step 2. Download Epic Games Launcher. Open your browser. Search Epic Games Launcher. Download it from Epic's official site. Install it like a normal program. No special settings. Next, next, next. Install. Step 3. Install Unreal Engine. Open Epic Games Launcher. Sign in. Okay. There's a long process here, guys. I'm gonna do this off stream. That said, maybe I might do it off stream actually. I mean, I don't want to like end the stream, but I don't want to like waste you guys' time as well, because there's like nothing that I can think of this stream. Because I could go with another SDL3 program here, but I feel if I do go with another SDL3 program, it's just going to be me wasting my time because I won't be using SDL3 much. Although I might actually end the stream right now and make a few tutorial videos on the stuff that I learned in SDL. That does sound kind of fun, guys. Although, I mean, I didn't want to go through something because I don't feel like I did much this stream except just creating my dice roller program. Okay, I mean, maybe I could go ahead and just end my stream and then work on those tutorial videos first so I can like actually see those in the future if I ever want to come back to SDL. You'll need 250 days with Seth to get started on Unreal. If you took the hard route. Guys, is it actually the hard route? Wait, I'll need 250 days? I think that I have like 150 days or something left. I think I'll have to like do it in half the time, guys. That's let me actually get some say/ChatGPT back here and say something like, let's say I see ... I might actually work on it off stream. Okay, that said, before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers question mark? Okay, so you're going to learn another new tool just to make an AI chatbot. I mean, I was eventually planning to like move on to a game engine because the reason I used SDL3 was to actually understand C++ much better as well, and also like learn a few basic stuff in general for like programming. But now since in my Unreal Engine I can actually load Python, that would be useful for my programming for like 250 series and the series after that where I'm actually going to be making chatbots. Spoilers alert, guys. That's it. If you really want to polish your skill sets in C++, then try Raylib. Ask your sensei about it. Okay, alright guys, let me say something like, before we end the stream, someone from my chat asked me to ask you about Raylib. Is it better than Unreal question mark? Okay, let's see. Searching web, sensei don't shift, calm, clear, straight to the core. Raylib is not better than Unreal, it's simply a different tool for a different purpose. I see. Let's unpack this so you and the chat can understand what they actually are, and when each one makes sense without hype or fanboy nonsense. Guys, where did the fanboy nonsense come in the equation from? That said, first, what Raylib is? Raylib is a simple, lightweight C graphics library. It is C. I didn't learn like C++. That said, great for learning game fundamentals focused on 2D. Yes, it can do 3D, but it's not its strength. I see. Minimal setup, you write code, you see pixels. Okay, that's something that I need. Very readable and friendly for beginners and intermediate programmers. Wait, it says beginner and intermediate, guys. In that case, is like Unreal like for advanced programmers? Yeah, it makes sense. Like front end is Unreal Engine and backend is Python. Good, so I do that too. That actually does sound pretty cool. That said, Raylib is not a full game engine. It's more like a well-organized toolset. Raylib lets you build games from the ground up without the weight of a big engine. Think of it as SDL, but more built-in helpers and less boilerplates. Is that how you pronounce it? That's it. I mean, I want to learn something that's hard, but if it's like easier than SDL, I think that it get like pretty boring real soon. Waylib is used in a lot of teaching, prototyping, and hobby projects. Second, what is Unreal? Unreal is a full AAA grade game engine built for massive projects, 3D world, physics, cinematics, has editors, tools, pipelines, not just code, handles rendering, audio, animation, physics, networking, used by professionals in industry. Unreal is not simple, it's powerful, it's complex, it's like comparing a motorized bicycle to a sports car. Guys, motorized bicycle to a sports car is kind of crazy. Both move you forward, but they belong in different leagues. So, is Raylib better than Unreal? No, better at what? Learning fundamentals or small games. Raylib for full commercial 3D games. Unreal. I mean, it. Okay, guys, the clear path here would be like Raylib if I'm trying to like start something. I mean, I could work with Raylib, but I want to do something really, really hard that actually like destroys my brains up. So I do want to go with like Unreal, but then in case Unreal was really hard, I might try it for a bit. If it was like really hard, then I might move on to like Raylib for like actually working with some basics again type stuff. That said, for AI system integration where performance matters, Unreal or custom C++, a clever way to think about it, Raylib is a sketchbook and pencil, fast, flexible, and uncucumbered. Unreal is a full film studio, light cameras, editor pipelines, and complexity. If your logic is by 2-3 days with a game with AI logic, Raylib could be solid stepping stone. Learn 2D rendering and camera systems. Okay, I mean, if like Unreal can actually make AAA games, which is 3D games, it could probably make 2D games as well. So I don't think that would be an issue. Raylib, great for learning. Unreal, great for production. Guys, is this my first ever mistake in my programming series that I'm going to be like, whatchamacallit, learning Unreal? I mean, if it is, I could actually, learn from my mistake, guys, but I do know Raylib is the smarter option here, but I want to go with something that's kind of hard. Okay, that said, I might actually end the stream and like watch a few tutorials about Unreal Engine. If you want to be a game programmer, avoid Unreal or anything sort of super enhanced and over-engineered game engine. If you want to be a game programmer, avoid. Okay, honestly, I didn't want to actually be like a software developer or someone that makes game. I want to make AIs. Like eventually, I do want to make robots and all that stuff. Go for OpenGL. I might actually look into all that stuff today. Then make a 2D Unreal is a big harder. Actually, is it? Okay, if you want something hard, I see. Okay, but you will need to sharpen your skills in Python if you want to use it in the backend. You'll learn a lot of libraries like Scheme and TensorFlow if you want real AI chatbot. That might sound fun, but guys, if I actually do start and learn like Unreal, would I like really be able to like make actual AI chatbots if I know Python, and then also like games if I know SDL? I mean, not SDL, if I know C++. Because if that is the case, then I might actually like invest my time in learning Unreal, because like I want to like learn one kind of engine that can do. I mean, I don't expect my one engine to like do a lot of different things, but that engine, I want it to be like accessible with like different programming languages. For example, I could use my Python and like my Unreal. I could use C++ in Unreal and work with different content there as well. That said, let's see what Sensei wants to say before ending the stream. Sensei speaks. Stream, listen up. Today you watch real engineering, not flashy button mashing. You saw someone hit errors, think, fix them, and keep moving. That's what actual developers do. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. I don't know whatchamacallit about the quietly part, guys. Nope, Unreal would be a waste of time. Okay, then actually off stream, I mean, it is kind of a disappointment, but like off stream I might look into like different options, all that stuff as well. Okay, you will, brother, Python is powerful. Okay, guys, it's so confusing. Should I go with Unreal or like Python? Maybe, guys, I might actually like I might make it short in this part actually. Like, do you guys want me to learn Python? I mean, Unreal or like a different kind of game engine type stuff? Yo, where are those dinosaurs, guys? I think dinosaur might come next stream or something like that, or like some other stream. Technically, you can practice, maybe not. In this case, make your own or use some open sourced engine, but Before that, learn how engines work and learn graphics programming. That actually does make sense. I think I do know somewhat graphics programming type stuff. That says this journey is not about talent, it's about showing up when your brain is tired and doing it anyway. Vivek is not playing with code, he's building the muscle that makes games, AI, and system possible. Remember, this confidence is built after confusion, not before. That said, he's stepping into Unreal next, a real engine, a complex real growth. Most people quit right there, all that stuff. Okay, that's it. Now end the stream. Eat, rest, tomorrow we'll level up. Rust is greater than other programming language. Does anyone know one ambiguable better? Honestly, when arguably better. My bad, guys, couldn't pronounce that. Okay, Python backend, Unreal frontend. Wait, Python is like whatchamacallit, Python is like a language. Are we comparing like languages with like game engines type stuff? Python. Oh, I see. Okay, actually, I think I see. By Python backend, do you mean like Python is the brain of my program type stuff? Meanwhile, the Unreal Engine is like the body of my program. So like where I add all my graphics and all that stuff. Oh, that might make sense. My Unreal Engine is just for my graphics and all that stuff, not for my AI logic or like my logic. Like Python is the brain of our program type stuff. What you mean Unreal is a game engine, not a programming language? That actually does make sense. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't speak. Okay, I didn't understand that part. So first I was confused, but I feel like the reason we use Python here is because Python is just like for the brain type stuff. Okay, maybe for this program for like 250 series, I did want to like make a game that consists of AI logic. So I feel like, I mean, I don't know, would it be enough? Anyone saying you need to learn code is absolutely lost. You need to learn architecture, not code. Code is irrelevant. That actually does make sense as well. I need to like know both and how to like, I'm assuming architecture is like the structure of my code type stuff. I might have to learn like both of those. Already mic testing. Okay, perfect. Recover selected file. I might actually recover. Guys, my PC is shut down for some reason. That's it. Let me open my chats real quick. So there we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. Can use Unreal at this point. It's powerful engine, although I use Unity, but whatever you feel like doing. Honestly, I was like thinking of Unity, but then Unity is a programming language for like C#. That's it. What is the top 3 programming languages for general use? I think Rust. One is Rust. Top 2 is Python. I won't like say there's like top few programming languages because like every programming language has like a different job. For example, Python is used for like AI logic. In the other hand, like C++ is used for like game development and all that stuff. Okay, hold up guys, let me actually cancel my Discord. That's exactly what I mean. Okay, what is top 3 programming languages? Okay, that's let me go ahead and go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that might be pretty much it for the stream. I might try Unreal. This might be a really big mistake that I'm doing in my programming journey, but maybe it might be like really fun as well, since it is kind of hard. In case it was like really hard, I might actually like learn a different programming language and all that stuff. That's let's see, much debatable. I see. Okay, that said, I'm actually gonna end the stream right now. So if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like helps my algorithm, sharing makes me smile, and subscribing is like it's your top. That's it guys, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. That's it, I actually forgot what I want to say guys. That's it, also join my Discord server and we did hit 100 members. I appreciate you guys so much for that. The link will be in the description as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. I might actually watch a few tutorials on how to install Unreal right now.